Hi, my name is Brittany Lynch. This is my persuasion speech, and here is my audience. According to Recycle Across America, Americans throw away enough office paper to build a 12-foot-high wall from Seattle, Washington to New York City every year. That is a 2,852-mile-long wall. Recycling is a way to help the world that we live in that few people are taking action about. I have been recycling for the past year, and I have learned a lot about the process as well as the appropriate methods to follow. Americans need to recycle more to help the environment, the economy, and to help conserve natural resources. In order to do this, it's imperative that Americans become more conscious about the trash that they produce, as well as there be a federal law to mandate recycling in the entire country, which would in turn produce more jobs. DoSomething.org claims that the average person generates 4 pounds of trash every day. And according to the last United States Census, there are 318.9 million people in the world, or in the United States. So on average, the United States has over 1 billion pounds, or 600,000 tons of trash every day. Some landfills must burn their trash because they no longer have the ground space to bury it. Burning the trash then releases dangerous chemicals and fumes into the environment. When something is not recycled that could be reused by the manufacturer must completely recreate a product that is currently sitting in the ground, going to waste. Reusing cans or plastic bottles saves the environment from noxious fumes that are also produced during the manufacturing process. It may be difficult for someone to justify spending the extra time, money, and energy to separate your trash and to go through the recycling process. But when thinking about recycling, many people don't realize that we will not see the impacts of us recycling. Recycling is something that we won't see the negative impacts of until much, much far in the future. Now that you know how the amount of waste produced is such a problem for the environment, let's consider our natural resources. A resource is considered to be non-renewable or finite if they cannot be produced within a given human time frame. Earth's natural finite resources include trees, minerals, fossil fuels, and other things. If the United States just recycled newspapers, only newspapers, we could save 250 million trees in a single year. We are using our resources at an alarming rate in which they will eventually be depleted far before they can replenish themselves. There are a few things that can be done to increase the percentage of trash that is recycled. Not every state has a law that mandates recycling. There is no recycling law in Georgia where I grew up, and since it wasn't required, we never did it. After moving to New York, I realized the problem of recycling because I was now required to do so. If the United States passed a federal law mandating everyone to recycle, the amount of people that would drastically increase. But laws take a while in order to be passed and put into effect. Before this can happen, each person needs to think about the items that they are throwing away. Can this be recycled? Can this be reused? If it can be recycled, do it. If it can be reused, repurpose it. Both of those actions can get an item out of the landfill. Another way to promote the recycling cause is to inform others that you see not recycling. If you're at a friend's house and someone goes to throw a can away, say, hey man, you can recycle that. They may not do it because they don't know how. Now you know the problems and the steps that can be taken to solve it, I'm going to tell you the benefits. Not only does recycling benefit the environment, but also the economy. Brittany Sponginelli with Udemy states that for every one job in waste management, there are 4 in recycling, all the way from creating recyclable labels to actually separating the goods. There are more people that are willing to recycle, the more recycling centers we will need. Jobs that will be created will increase recycling, will also include factory workers because companies will save money and time being able to reuse their goods and not have to start from scratch. So throughout this speech, you have learned the details about the problem of waste management in the United States, how to increase recycling numbers, and the benefits of recycling more. Recycling benefits the economy, the environment, and allows the conservation of resources. By being aware of the amount of trash your family is producing and creating a federal law that makes recycling mandatory, more people will recycle, which will create more jobs and help the economy. The Recycling Revolution states that the average American uses 7 trees a year, which amounts to 2 million trees every year. Recycling should not be optional.